Does this person like being punched in the face over and over and over again?
Distribution is everything. And right now it's more competitive than ever.
Getting things out there is so much more important than getting perfect things out there.
In the last 8-9 years, I've seen so many brands come and go out of business. And the ones that are still standing are the ones that
if they're not coming back at least once, if not several times a year, that one customer is probably loss making. It's like, I didn't know how to do that either. And I will say that I'm still pretty terrible at it. You just have to be uncomfortable in some things.
Going to business school is a luxury. Not everyone can afford it. I'm just saying for the people who can't, like, there's another path. I was talking to some business school students recently.
Oh, at Columbia Business School?
And it had me thinking, we need to do an episode about, these are the things you actually won't learn in business school. Like you'll only learn on the ground, building a brand, raising a ton of money, starting scrappy where I didn't even know what a term sheet was. Like these are the things you won't learn. So let's talk about just like, let's riff some things that you will not learn in business school. I will start.
Okay.
You can have a great product that's an amazing product, but you can fail because of distribution. And I see this a lot because I think people, maybe they start a brand and they say, hey, I only want to be e-commerce. And I think maybe that used to work like 10 years ago in the glory e-com days, but now that's really hard to achieve. And if you want to do that, you have to make sure you're like spending on customer acquisition or subscription, like a really strong model, because like distribution is everything. And right now it's more competitive than ever. And so I always say, and this is how we approached it on Bala, is like, you know, try to do wholesale. If not, you better have a strong e-com distribution plan, but try to do wholesale and try to be everywhere because you want to meet the customer where they are.
What do you think about people who say like have a focused strategy and like only talk to a specific group of customers in the beginning? Like, do you believe in that? Or do you just believe like it doesn't matter, like you can't tamper the brand by being everywhere?
I think you can't tamper the brand by being everywhere because the world is so big. The US is so big. There's a million brands. You just need to, I think, go at 1,000,000 miles per minute to like have any stickiness.
I mean, we interview a lot of people who are like, oh, I said no to Sephora because the timing wasn't right or this or that. Like,
I have an opposite approach.
Is
You're
that
never
crazy?
Gonna get,
Yeah.
I think that's insane. You're never, or people all the time, they go, oh, I plan on applying to Shark Tank in a year when blank. It's
like you don't even know you're going to get in.
You don't even know if you're going to have the opportunity. Like you just need to try things like all the time. And yeah, you need to try to get into Sephora. And if it doesn't, I feel like pushing that off does not make sense.
Speed beats perfection. We talked about this on our last solo with the Kickstarter, but getting things out there is so much more important than getting perfect things out there because one, you're going to learn pretty fast whether it's working or not or like how to iterate. And also two, I think it's an excuse that people give themselves to hold themselves back because of the fear of what comes next.
Yeah, it's like a deep down excuse. Yeah. You don't even realize
it's not ready yet.
I need
it's
more
not
strategy behind this before.
Or I need to raise $500,000 first, or I need to, do the best, most expensive branding or whatever it is. It's like, no, get a product, get it out there. Even if it's not a product, just like mock it up on Gemini, Nano Banana and just get it out there and do it on a pre-sale. Like, it doesn't need to be perfect. Iterate. And I think that is like the mindset of somebody who builds technology. Like you just put stuff out there, even if it's pretty buggy. Obviously, you don't want it to be so horrible that people are like, this sucks. But it's so much better to just, and it's easier with tech because like you can put it out there and do small drops. It's not like you're committing to like buying 10,000 products and none of them work. Definitely speed, first to market, and learning.
Yeah. I mean, this podcast wouldn't exist if not for that. Like, you have to do speed to market, always in beta, like always be testing. So like that one. Your job as a founder changes at least every year, but sometimes multiple times a year. So, who at the very beginning, you're a totally different like founder and leader than you are, 5 years in, 2 years in, 10 years in. And I think it changes based on like each hire you make, like what you're driving towards. I feel like I've truly been like a different founder leader the tasks I'm working on every year.
And how do you learn to like upskill yourself for something that is changing so often?
You should mostly be up leveling. So I think it's like, you know, if you're all in like the social media one year, but then you have the right hires so you can like move on and be like more worried about the financials. And of course it's the whole picture always, but it's like, you know, you up level your skill set, you become a better leader, things like that. If you've ever thought about starting a company or you're already in it and figuring things out as you go, I wrote Bootstrap Empire for you. It's the real story of how we built Bala from a scrappy side hustle into a global brand without a traditional playbook or unlimited capital. This book has the lessons and advice I wish I had from day one. Think of it as your mentor in a book format. Bootstrap Empire is out now and available on Amazon, Walmart, Target, Barnes & Noble, and more. If you're building something from scratch, this one's for you. Visit bootstrap-empire.com to learn more.
I do speak to founders all the time who are like, I'm just not a numbers person. Like, I don't know how to run a P&L. I don't know how to do these things. And it's like, I didn't know how to do that either. And I will say that I'm still pretty terrible at it. But yes, I know how to get into my P&L. I know how to understand the numbers. I know how to update it so I can do new forecasts. Like, those aren't things that come inherently to my skill set, but they are things that you do, I think, just ultimately have to learn, even if the intention is not that you manage them for long term. Like, you just have to be uncomfortable in some things. And like, if I look at a spreadsheet, it will take me probably 2 times, 3 times the amount of time than somebody who is very numbers driven. But it's a really important skill to own, even if you're not going to perfect it.
Yeah, and I think you need to be like weary of using things like we love I'm gonna love Nano, Banana, ChatGPT, all of that, but you have to be weary of using that stuff too much, because I feel like when we started 8-9 years ago, like we had to bust into a P&L. I had to bust into the back end and learn how to ship stuff to Amazon and this complicated watching tutorials and figuring it out. And I feel like you really still need to use that side of your brain, or else like it's gonna go mush and you can't use ChatGPT for everything. So I feel like you got to exercise that muscle. It's like a balance.
And when do you know that it's time to leave that behind and put it in someone else's hands?
When you can afford to. And that I think you're always looking at things like, is my time better spent on blank? Like, let's say it's scheduling social media posts, but you could be pitching investors or trying to get into Goop, whatever it is, have a meeting with Shape magazine. It's like, you have to look at the bigger picture and say, where does the brand need me and where can I hire out for that?
Repeat is important. So I think that repeat isn't really a metric that most people want to focus on. It's normally like GMV or like overall turnover are the big exciting numbers. It's how many new customers am I getting, how much revenue I'm making. But actually, if your customers aren't coming back, likelihood is your product does not make money, because you had to spend money on making the product and then you spent money on acquiring them, plus the multiple services that you're paying to transact them, host the website that they're on, send them the product from a shipping perspective. If they're not coming back at least once, if not several times a year, that one customer is probably loss making. So don't forget the importance of creating a product that people want to come back for, or creating multiple other products that they can come and repeat on. But thinking about the longevity of your customers just as important as thinking about how you get them in on the first place.
No one's going to want to buy your company or invest in your company for repeat. Repeat was an issue for Bala the first couple of years because we had like one product.
Yeah.
And so we solved that by expanding our product assortment, and then repeat wasn't a problem. But repeat is everything, and that's why subscription's obviously amazing. Or if you're like a marketplace, that's great. People can come back. I think the best advantage is really just like staying in the game the longest that you possibly can. So while obviously we're saying like speed is important and all of these things, I think you need to be looking at it like longevity, because I have seen in the last 8-9 years, I've seen so many brands come and go out of business, or the founder's not involved anymore, or raise too much money, whatever it is. Like, I've seen so many brands come and go, and the ones that are still standing are the ones that kind of yes, they were
Weathered the
speedy,
storm.
but they weathered the storm.
Yeah.
So they were focused on profitability. They were focused on, learning their customer and not just being like kind of a one-hit wonder. And so it's all about the long game and staying in the business because brands will come and go. So
yeah, and
whatever
starting
you
a
can do.
company is a roller coaster. Like as much as it can be so fun and you can receive such a high from those big moments, it's true. It's like, are you somebody, and you get tested for this when people are investing in your company, like, does this person like being punched in the face over and over and over again? Because that is someone you want to invest in. Like, will this person be there not just for the highs, but also for the lows? And it doesn't always mean when you're in a low that your company is on its way out. And that's when many people give up and many people walk away. That's part of running a company. You have these peaks and troughs, and it's about like weathering through them.
Okay, now let's do a hot take on business school or starting a brand. I think skip business school and just go, not necessarily start a brand because you want to make sure it's the right idea, but I think go early stage at a brand. Like try to get in at any startup, even if it might not be successful, because you're going to learn way more than you would. I haven't been to business school, but I'm just saying.
So you're biased.
But so I'm definitely biased, but I say go to the startup and do a few years there.
Yeah.
As your business school.
I definitely agree. Like I know a lot of people who went to business school. They're very smart. And I only hired people who went to business school in the beginning because I was really insecure about the fact that I didn't. I think that you just find doing something yourself is such a faster way of learning whether it actually is going to work or not versus being taught it.
And I say that too because going to business school is a luxury. Not everyone can afford it. Not everyone can get in. I mean, it's a luxury. You're lucky if you get to. So I'm just saying for the people who can't, like there's another path.
Yeah. There's also so many books, obviously this podcast, many other podcasts now that help you solve, only this podcast, that help you solve these like really tactical problems that you're probably taught to think about at business school.
All right.
Cool.
Great.